Hello, and welcome to another episode of my 30 plus decks. Today I'm going to be showing off Rosheen Roaring Prophet. This is my Hydra commander. She is not a Hydra herself, but man, she works well with them. When she enters the battlefield, I mill 6 cards. Then I may put a card with X in its mana cost from among them into my hand. I can tap her to reveal any number of cards with X in their mana cost, and add 2 colorless for each card revealed this way. Spend this mana only to cast, only on costs that contain X. So that could be casting spells, that could be activating abilities, as far as the way that colorless mana from her can be spent. And that's kind of just what this deck is full of. As far as it goes, the other thing to note is that she mills 6 cards, and there are plenty of cards that I don't want to get milled in this deck. So I do also have ways in green to, return cards from my graveyard to hand, kind of thing. So nothing that gets milled I really think of being a 2 permanent effect or situation, however that looks. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of jump right in. I already drew my hand, and hopefully it's gonna be pretty spicy. So let's go for it. Draw. All right, let's go forest, and I will. No, actually, I'm gonna take that back. I'll make a turn 1 play. Mountain, tap for a Footfall Crater. It's an enchantment aura for a land. Enchanted land has tap. Target creature gains trample and haste until the end of turn. So I can now give things haste if I have the mana. Go to turn 2. That will be a draw. Forest, and I will pass. Turn 3. Draw. Another forest. Green and 2. Unbound Flourishing. Whenever I cast a permanent spell with mana cost that contains X, double the value of X. Whenever I cast an instant or sorcery spell, or activate an ability, if that spell's mana cost or ability's activation cost contained X, copy that spell or ability. I may choose new targets for the copy. And let's go to turn 4. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Alright. Let's go ahead and go with a forest. Tap for green and red and 2. For Rosheen, Roaring Prophet. She enters the battlefield. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. Milled. Exponential Growth is a great one, and it looks like that's the only one that has X in its mana value, so I will discard the rest, or I guess the rest gets milled. Yeah, go to turn 5. Untap. Upkeep. Draw. Very cool. Let's go with a forest as my land for the turn. And I think that looks perfect. I don't know what else I would want to do with this, so let's go ahead and tap Rosheen, revealing Crackle with Power, Jaya's Immolating Inferno, Exponential Growth, which you already knew about, and Genesis Wave, which I plan on casting. So that is 4 cards revealed. That's 2, 4, 6, 8 mana I get. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total to cast Genesis Wave. So because that's green, 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 that means X is 10. This is turn 5. This is awesome. So X is 10. When I cast an instant or sorcery spell, since X is in its active mana cost, I copy this and choose new targets. So effectively, I reveal the top 10 cards of my library. I may put any number of permanents with mana value 10 or less from among them onto the battlefield. Put all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield into my graveyard. I'm doing that twice. So I could do it for 20. I'm just going to stick and do 10 twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Revealed. That's 1. That doesn't work, so that's 2, 3, 4. That could work. And it's any number of permanents. This Primordial Hydra, which I got the special art in an auction actually, is just going to go to the graveyard anyways. So, Shrine of Nyktha, Shrine of Nyx, Hydra Trainer, Sarakan Goreclaw, and then Apocalypse Hydra goes to the graveyard. So Apocalypse Hydra, Primordial Hydra, and Return of the Wild Speaker go to my graveyard. That was Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, and a Forest going to the battlefield under my control. And then Serakin Goreclaw, Hydra Trainer, Kami of Whispered Hopes, Karamech's Acolyte, and Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia entering the battlefield. Now, because of Serakin Goreclaw, whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under my control, put a 1/1 counter on it, it gains haste until the end of turn. I do believe that they are all entering at the same time, so they are all triggering that. That being said, Kami of the Whispered Hopes is doubling those counters, effectively. It's that many counters plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. There we go. So, now I have Karamech's Acolyte, which can tap for mana of any color. Tap for green equal to my devotion to green. Not mana of any color. Which I'll get to in a second, because I'm still not done. Kami of Whispered Hopes can tap for mana equal to its power. The Hydra Trainer, when it attacks, I can exert it, and it gets +X+X. Sorry, target creature gets +X+X, where X is the number of counters on permanents I control. And Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia, can tap to add 2 mana in any combination of colors, only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. And whenever I cast a creature spell with power 5 or greater, I put a 1/1 counter on Gwenna and untap her. Also, because of Serakin Goreclaw, all of my creatures have trample, and also, not only were they getting the counters, they have haste. So, I'll still get to that in a second, because that was my first Genesis wave. Let's do my second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Temporal Oozewag. Temperamental Oozewag. Jeez. Voracious Hydra will go to the bin. Invigorating Hot Springs. Land. Cornucopia will go to the graveyard. So, Primal Might. Land War Elves. Burning Anger. Master Chef. Forest. Perfect. So, Primal Might, Astral Cornucopia, and Voracious Hydra all go to the graveyard. And that is... Actually, no. I will have Voracious Hydra go to the battlefield. And actually, I think that it's all kind of something that's happened recent enough to where I will choose to keep this Apocalypse Hydra and Primordial Hydra because of Serakin Goreclaw. That's them entering and not immediately dying, because they're entering with... it's only 2 counters, but still. Primordial Hydra will be doubling, right? That's actually a really good move for that. So that's Forest, Mountain. Let's actually kind of rearrange this a little bit, so that you're down here. Oh, let's see, land creatures over there. You're kind of a buff. Blah, blah, blah. Something like that. Sure. Because I have Master Chef. I have Burning Anger, which can go on... Ooh. Maybe. Primordial Hydra. Land War Elves. Invigorating Hot Spring. Temperamental Oozewag. Let's get those counters going. So it's 2 counters on you. And you. And Invigorating Hot Springs enters with 4 1/1 counters. It says modified creatures I control have haste, which they already kind of did. I can remove a 1/1 counter from it and put a 1/1 counter on target creature I control only as a sorcery and only once each turn. Which I could do to give Serakin Goreclaw haste. I could use that to put a 1 counter on Rosheen if I wanted to for some reason. Well, it's only turn 5. This is crazy. This is awesome. Because you still know at least the 3 cards in my hand. I'm probably not going to cast them, but let's just tap Karamech's Acolyte to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Devotion to green. Oh man. 17 devotion to green. Okay, so that's 17 green mana. Here's what's so funny. I have Hero's Bane. I also have Exponential Growth. Let's just start with Exponential Growth. If I cast Exponential Growth, let's see, 17, I guess it would have to be 16, but still, that would be 14. So X would be 7. I double target creature's power 7 times. If I chose Kami of Whispered Hopes, that would be 3 times 2 is 6, 12, 24, 48, 96. Hold on. 96, that's 5. 96 to, yeah, I'll do it. How about just doing it, right? So let me actually use 2 of that, 17. So 15 floating, and I'll use that 2 for Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, choosing green, where I add another 17. So that's 15 plus 17 is 22. No, 32. X is... Oh, this is going to be huge. I almost need a calculator. Let's see. Man. Okay. No, this is going to be what I do, and it's going to be hilarious. Yeah, I got time. It's going to be... That's 32. I'm going to cast Exponential Growth, targeting Kami of Whispered Hopes. And let's get this calculator. So I'm using my phone to record. Okay. Any second now. So I can kind of do it. It's 6, 13, 14, 15. Yes. Because that was... Okay. Let's get to it. Calculate. Something like 15 is X because of... It's 32. Let me just get this. Okay. Right now, Kami of Whispered Hopes is a 3/3. So 3 times 2 equals. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me actually show this. 3 times 2. Ugh. If it'll work with me, that whole thing. Okay, here we go. 3 times 2. So doubled once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I have 98,304 power Kami of Whispered Hopes because of exponential growth. And it can tap to add one of any color where X is its power. So I'm going to tap it and add 98,304 red. And I will use that to cast well, let's see. I have, and you guys already know, Crackle with Power and Jaya's Immolating Inferno. So I could either deal... Oh, let's see. 98,304. That'd be 98,302. It would be 98,302 damage to each of up to 3 targets. Or, let's see, kind of like a -2 divided by 3. $32,767. 32767. Times 5. Because that says it deals 5 times X equal to each of up to X targets. So that could be 163,835 damage to up to each of up to that 32,767 targets. So I think that I'll just keep it simple, and I'll cast Jaya's Immolating Inferno, dealing that 98,000 plus to each of my opponents, and call that GG on turn 5. Sweet. I think that that's just going to be the game that I do. What a freaking playtest. Oh my gosh. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. What a freaking mess. Yeah. Hope you had a good time. I know I had fun. See ya in the next one. Later.